Hi everyone, welcome to Tech Down Over. I'm Rick Zanotti and I'm joined today by Geoff Blanchard, coming to us from Melbourne, Australia. And also we've got with us Harold Muliadi, coming to us from about 5 feet from me. Here we go. Tech Down Over begins right now.
And we're back.
And we are back. Hey, Geoff, how are you today?
Good, thank you. Yes, do apologise for everybody for being a little bit late, but, well, you know, like they said, we're on the cutting edge, and we can't even get the stream to go live.
The cutting edge. We're in the garage of technology.
And Windows updates.
And Windows updates. By the way, that's what's screwing us over right now. There have been some Windows updates that did cause some little glitches in audio.
And we encountered them yesterday, but managed to fix them in time. This time, it was on other computers that we're now using, and we had forgotten to sort out things on those.
So Geoff, nothing much has been going on in tech as far as I could tell. I mean, nothing out of the ordinary. There are things like everybody's talking. Have you noticed that the pundits, the people who do podcasts and everybody else, they all run in droves? Look, it's Panasonic. Ooh. Yeah, and then they go running the other way. Oh, look, it's this one.
Hold it right there.
Ooh, hold it right there. Don't do anything. So, I mean, so we have all these. And then you have. So which one is it? It just depends. And then they go off running somewhere else. And then they have articles and this and that. But it's all the same. It's like the mob. And then they come running back. We don't do that here. We don't.
But
not usually.
What amazes me, though, is the ones, there's a review and that on how bad a particular camera is. And like you said, 3 weeks later, the same people are doing how great it is.
That's right. That's when the check's finally clear.
It just said it could be good or bad, but then when people try to do some, decent bit of other side to the side, like I think like Tony's been doing a little bit more than just cameras and that, and getting involved, then he gets slammed for.
Oh yeah, they're shooting him. He's got a bulletproof vest on right now, the poor guy.
And I thought he's trying. I mean, goodness me, he doesn't have the world's resources available like these. No. But as I said, just makes comments and tries to get a bit more life into the photography rather than just equipment and all that. And poor fella gets slammed. So I do feel for Tony because they do try, no matter what. You get things wrong every now and then, and he's the first to admit it if he does get things wrong. But if you do, sometimes you just can't help it anyway.
No, Tony, we love you. Looking forward to seeing you back soon. We've been trying to get a hold of you. You're hard to get a hold of. His phone's always busy. I guess all the haters are sending him voicemails, and he doesn't answer emails quickly. So phone is it, and his phone voicemail is always full. So we're trying to get you back on, Tony. We're in your corner. We love you. We think you do a great job. And hey, don't stop doing what you're doing. Keep doing it because you're not going to get everyone 100% right. But hey, you know what? If you don't bring it up, nobody would know.
It's also possible that he, like I, never deletes his voicemails.
I'm the same way. I always forget to delete.
But the thing is, he does such a variety. He doesn't just stick with the one thing. No. He tries different things, whereas some people just do the same thing. But he doesn't do just a one type show. He does a product one. He'll do something on photography, different things all the time. Which that's what I like with his channel. It's got quite a variety in that. Whereas, as I said, I'm getting a bit the same with. I've sort of given up YouTube a lot lately these days because I spend most of your time watching it and you just get either confused or put off from something. And I thought, I've given it a rest. Same thing with a lot of the podcasts, with the audio podcasts. I used to listen to quite a few, but now I tend to leave them for about 2 or 3 months and listen to one and then go back to it. I've had enough. I can't stand a lot of them anymore, just going on about the same things that they did 6 months ago. So,
well, it's funny. It's funny you say that, Geoff, because I haven't watched a podcast in 4 days. And I always watch podcasts. I have much more time. I've been listening to audiobooks, and that's been fun. So I'm listening to a new. So it's not a new series. It's new to me. It's from Marc Cameron, and it's the Jericho Quinn thriller series. He's the guy who wrote Jack Ryan with Tom Clancy.
Oh, okay.
So it's sort of interesting. And his Jericho Quinn series is really fun. It's all about anti-terrorism and everything else. And he's got some great characters. And I'm on my third book now. I'm listening to my third book. I'm doing audiobooks. And it's great. I just sit in front of the computer, close my eyes, rest, and listen to the book. It's very relaxing. I'm not listening to bad opinions or constant reviews of the same product 100 times. And like you said, I think Harold said it, this is a lousy product. It couldn't be any worse. And a week later, this is the best product we've ever used. We really enjoy it. Well, which one is it?
That's another one of my pet hates, Rick, at the moment. I love the audiobooks, but I hate it when I hear people say, I've read 15 books in the last month on,
I've listened.
On Audible Doc. I said, no, you haven't read anything.
You've listened.
You've listened.
Yep.
But some people still think they've read a book.
You're not reading. You're listening. Reading requires the eyes. Now, what they should do on Audible, I actually think this would solve the problem. Show the audio file, and then people just watch it.
Well, babe, I'll tell you, Rick, though, I don't know if you've used that on Audible, but I'm thinking about going over to that. But one of the good things on that I've heard, I didn't know it did this, that you can go pick up a book on Audible, listen to it, and then you get the same Kindle version. Then you pick up your Kindle, and it's got to the same word.
That's right. It's amazing.
So you can go and read it. So when you want to read, you can read, and then you flick back to the audio in the car, and you can listen to where you left off.
Absolutely. It's amazing. It's a really nice feature, and they've had it for years. And it works beautifully. Yeah, because I used to read Kindle books more. And then I saw, hey, Kindle's offering the same audiobook for $1.99. That's a good deal. So I would buy the audiobook, and I would turn the audiobook on, and I went, wait a minute. I'm on I'm chapter 12 of the, how did it know? It's really smart. They're keeping a joint bookmark, so you always know where you are.
And is Audible very expensive? What sort of?
They're a little more. It's about $14 a book. But many times if you buy the $7 Kindle version, you get the Audible for $2.
Oh,
and so in which case it's good to have both if you ever want to read versus listen.
But can you buy individual? I thought like Audible, you can just sort of have
by itself.
Monthly subscription, and then you get whatever you want. However,
but you only get 3 things. You get 2 Audible something or others, like first runs, and then you get 1 Audible book. So for $14.95 a month, you get basically 3 things, of which only one may interest you. The one where you choose something that's not a first run book, where those are like bestsellers. And so as a result, I don't care about bestsellers. I rarely read bestsellers. So I'm reading stuff usually that's either a little bit older or new, but not a bestseller. They're just sci-fi or thriller books. So I decided not to become a member. I don't see any benefit to it. But $14 to read a 6 or 7 hour book, I'm okay with that. It's a good price.
Yeah, that's quite reasonable. And it seems like a lot of these things trying to give you more for your money than to keep you involved and keep you up with its subscription. I've just noticed Wirecast has just got the new version 12 out, and I know you still keep up your subscription, do you?
I haven't upgraded yet to 12.
But do you still keep your subscription going? Well, one of the things now, because that's why I asked that, because once you keep up your support and that, now they've added stock to it, so you get access to all these audio stock.
How's their collection of it?
Sorry?
How's their collection? Like, what do they have a lot of stuff on there?
About 500,000 items. There's tons of it on there, but it's built into the browser, so you can have all these video clips in standard and 4K and all these audio things that you can do for that. But it's only available while your support's there.
No, they're not doing video blocks, are they?
No, but this is just their own thing, but on there. But it seems quite good for that. But that's the catch is just you have to keep up the support.
Right.
And of course, I found out a bit about because we've got this great offer with all these things. Yeah, but you can't have it because you haven't got your support up to date. So I can't have it. But to keep up to, if you get the latest versions, if you're allowed to get the latest version, you get that. But I thought that was quite good if you need.
What is going on? Something just went nuts. Oh, what an interesting thing.
Huh.
I just discovered you can press every button at once.
Yep.
Okay.
I didn't know you could do that.
So you switched on all the different audio ones on there.
I didn't know that was possible. This little corner button turns everything on. That's scary.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, that was scary. I guess that's one of those DJ things. Hey, Geoff, this last Saturday I did a martial arts web seminar where I taught and some other people did demonstrations. It was a lot of fun. We did some shooting with the GH5, and we did a video. You probably saw a little bit when you came in first before you got disconnected. This is shooting with the GH5, and it is... You want to play it?
Yeah, I'm rolling the slow-mo one or the normal?
I would do the slow-mo one, which I think is this one. We can play the fast one afterwards. So this is a girl doing, she's a teacher, about, I think she was 30 years old, and she was doing a sword form. And she did it very nicely, and we just filmed her. We were in 225 autofocus points, so you get most of the screen in focus. And we're just on a tripod. We may have moved a tad on the tripod, but not much. She was pretty much where she needed to be in frame.
And this was 60 frames per second, slowed down to 24.
Yeah.
Yeah, the quality seems excellent, doesn't it? Even coming through back to Skype for me, it's looking really great quality.
Yeah, there's not much blur. I mean, there's a little bit of motion blur, but that's normal with slow-mo. It looks good.
Yeah, it's very good. I think you have to have a little bit of blur, because if you don't, it looks real horrible if you don't have that blur when people are moving. But that looks perfect, that does to me.
Now, are the swords they use for this usually that floppy?
The swords?
No, sword, that's floppy, isn't it?
Those are not combat swords.
So those are like more for the...
They're for demonstrations, yeah.
I see.
We never used those when I was growing up. It was the real swords, and they were heavy.
Right.
It's hard to chop somebody's head off with that one.
Because, I mean, like a real sword, it would flex a little bit, but not like that, right? Because that one's kind of like flopping around when she presses stuff.
Yep. So now let's get out of this one. Go to the fast one.
Sure.
Okay, that's... Speed. Yeah, speed up, have you?
I'm sorry, you faded out. What did you say?
I said this is normal speed, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And again, it's not blurry. We were about 40, 50 feet from her. And I was shooting with the 12 to 60 millimeter f2.8. It's the Leica Panasonic Leica lens. It's not the kit lens, but it's the more advanced zoom. It's about a $950 lens. It does a really good job. We had a little ISO up. The room was nice. It wasn't too bright because what you're seeing there is the side door, which was pretty bright. The room itself is starting to get dark. And
so that's that's really good, because that backlight from that big door, usually it would blow everything out. So it does really
and it doesn't. It does. The Panasonic is good. You know, the GH5 is just a darn good camera.
Yeah, that looks really good, doesn't it? So,
Yeah.
where did that music? Was that music on that video? That
No,
playing,
that was from Artlist.
And here are the
you
end
just
of the
put that
forums
in there,
here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
There she goes.
Yeah, that was good, but that's a good thing. You know, when you go out do those things, that's what I've got to do. When you go out, film more of those sort of things. But I lead such a boring life. There's not much to film, I think. So.
I don't do anything either. The first time I grabbed a camera and took it out and filmed, that was sort of fun. And I wasn't doing the filming. Leslie was.
Well, I guess. I guess, Geoff, what you've got to do is, have your slow-mo ready, and then look out for someone that's carrying like a stack of papers or something. Then yell at them and take the slow-mo video, and it'll look really cool. You'll see everything flying everywhere, and everything's more beautiful.
Wow. I was thinking. I was on the weekly catch-up. I was talking with Geoff Holbrook, and was saying, said, wouldn't it be good if you sort of go to an event, but have like a crowdfunding thing and get 50 people and say, look, I'll pay you $15 a piece, and everybody's got to give me an hour's worth of video. And just because some people are interested, said it's only $15, but people will go there. Said, look, I'll do it. It'll cost you, a little bit of money, under $1,000, but just do that. And I thought that would be great, just to see what you'd get on that. And I thought it'd be, if you go to a major event and see what you'd get.
It'd be interesting.
Because like one of us, I was saying, we threatened it'd be good, like if I came over and we got all your cameras when you had a lot of them, get all these people to go to an event, and let's say we all start filming at the start, all got to be video cameras, and start filming, and then we could do a multicam thing and see who did what and don't cut anything.
Yeah.
Then you could cut in post.
We could even still do that. We have, let's see.
Multicam shot and just flick between and see what happened from a different perspective. So.
Well, we have, let's see, we've got 2 GH5s. We got the GH5S. We got the G9. So that's 4 cameras right there. We could also bring in the Canon, the R. Yeah. And then Harold can bring in his 5 DSR. What else? And we have camcorders. So we could have like 10 cameras.
And that's what I thought. And then because I said I said that first off, you had a lot of them, but then also you had your 2 XA10s still.
Yeah.
At that stage, so you could have done them, and you had a few older ones still in video cameras. But you've moved on from them now. So. But it was still interesting to see where, like you say, there's still a use for video cameras, because nothing more easier than having a video camera like that to stick there to film for 5 hours. No matter how your camera can. A GH5, you just run out of battery, whereas a video camera, you can sit it there on the battery and you probably still get 5 hours constant filming, and whereas on those other ones,
well, and like Doug Jensen was saying when he was on the show, they're so easy to set up, and he can take them in whatever conditions. He'll just go out and pretty much any weather conditions, and he can film, and he doesn't really have to worry about them too much, because they're one piece and they're pretty sturdily built. And
Hey Geoff,
I know the GH5 and that does continuity, you can do, but I haven't had anybody who's put it to the test and left it running for 4 hours and kept replacing sticks but you'll run out of space. We
let it run for 3, and it ran 3 hours, no problem.
I think
it does a good job.
We could test it for a whole day and see what it does.
We could. We got to do something good, like go to a beach or something. I don't know. That'd be fun.
But as I said, like video camera, you don't have to worry about changing the memory cards. You don't have to worry about changing the battery. You usually get about 5 or 6 hours as it is with the camera. Just switch it on. You don't have to change anything. Whereas all the other ones do a great job, but then they're designed for video here, but they're not designed to be switched on and left there for hours.
That's true.
They're there to do it in 15-minute section.
Hey, Geoff, what do you think of the Canon RP?
I really haven't looked at it at all, so I've sort of lost interest a bit in all the cameras since I got the GH5, because I'm so happy with that. I thought all the people. Is that still full frame, the RP?
It's full frame for $1,200. It's not bad. It's got some limitations, but on the whole, I think it's a pretty good camera. It's funny you say that about cameras. I've had the GH4 and now the GH5 since they came out. And no matter what cameras I have, they tend to still be my go-to cameras for everything. Isn't that weird? Because they frankly work well. The G9 does a wonderful job. The GH5 is a great video camera and takes good stills.
I mean, over here at the studio and at Relate, then pretty much anytime we say, oh, we need a picture of this, we need a video of this, the one we go and grab is the GH5 just because it's really reliable and it's really it gets good results.
It's a great camera. Anyway,
that's the thing that sort of gets me with all these full frame cameras coming out with it being cheaper and cheaper. I know that's good, but to me, if I want a full frame camera, it's because I want the best and the bigger things. I'll pay the extra money.
Right.
I don't want a full frame camera that's dumbed down to be cheaper.
I know.
Well, I might as well get the higher end, the other one that'll do exactly the same job or better. But it's just that people, I think we've got to that stage where people say, "Oh, I've got a full frame camera."
That's right.
And that's all. It's no the like the GH5, people have been showing that the GH5 video with what that's got in the Micro Four Thirds is a better video than your big expensive full frame camera.
Isn't it amazing?
Yeah.
But as I said, but I've got a full frame. It doesn't matter. That's better.
The other thing, which I think I said this the last time we talked about the RP too, but I might as well reiterate, is you buy a full frame, and you're probably going to be spending more on the lenses than the camera body itself. So even if the camera body itself is cheaper, how much are you going to spend on all these full frame lenses?
But I remember though when I got the 60D when that came out and when cameras were about that, and that's not that long ago. Say about 7 years ago. Nobody really talked about full frame cameras today.
No, not at all.
Nobody said this is a full frame. Nobody would have known what it was.
No.
And then all of a sudden it became what's this APS-C? What's this? It's just nobody cared to.
Yeah. Well, that music means we are out of time. We got to get going. So for all you folks in the audience, we'll see you next time. Maybe, I don't know if we have a guest next week. We might. Not sure. And we'll all be back. Geoff, if you're around tomorrow, I'll give you a call.
Yeah, and then the leading thing, to keep things going, don't mention anything about government conspiracies, or else they'll cut you off like they did with us on Venus.
It was the fungus. He mentioned the fungus, and we were dead.
Yeah.
Government conspiracies, and they shut us down.
I swear, it just seems that way. Anyway, everyone, have a good weekend. We will see you next week on Tech Down Over. Thanks.
All right, bye, everyone.